أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. We give thanks to Almighty Allah for giving us another opportunity for this meeting. I want to welcome each and every one of us to this yet another session in our ongoing Islamic Finance Fellowship. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us and accept this from each and every one of us as an act of ibadah. So I want to welcome everyone, and particularly I want to thank our mentors and facilitators who have always given us that support, and to also encourage each and every one of us to continue to be actively involved and participate in this program. So may Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah. So let's all recite Surah Al-Fatiha as a way of opening this today's Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Thank you very much. So without further delay, let me proceed. This is the fourth session in the series of our mentorship program. And I'm glad to inform that today we are having one of the very interesting areas in Islamic finance, which will give us another insight into the opportunities available in the Islamic finance sectors beyond what people always look at. Today, we are pleased to have with us one of the great innovative sectors in Islamic finance, which is the area of Islamic media. Like I do say, Islamic finance is a multi-disciplinary field, which can be incorporated and integrated into many areas of specialization. For instance, there was a time I was telling somebody that even those who are specialists, historians, if you say your area of specialization is history, for instance, so there is a way you can integrate yourself into the Islamic finance, perhaps by focusing on the history of Islamic finance across the world. And particularly, you may now you trim it down to focusing on the history of Islamic finance in Africa, in West Africa, in the Asian. So there are a lot of opportunity. There is no area which you belong that you cannot really be relevant in Islamic finance. So today we have one of the very great innovators, so to say, who is already creating a very special niche for himself in the area of media, Islamic finance media. It's one thing to be a media practitioner, but to not specialize in the area of Islamic media, Islamic finance media is another thing. So we want to see how that one is done and what are the opportunities available to those who may aspire to also want to have one area or the other in the aspect of Islamic media, Islamic finance media. So our facilitator and mentor today is no other person than our brother, Mr. Mudathir Adesanya Akintude. So let me call the name in full, Akintude Adesanya. So let me quickly read out his profile. before I call and invite him to make his presentation with us. And I believe we are going to learn a lot from him, inshallah. So let me quickly look for the profile here and read it out without further delay. Just a minute, please. Okay. So Mr. Mudathir Adesanya is the founder Mr. Mudathir Adesanya he holds a BSc in accounting and MSc in Islamic banking and finance. He is the founder and CEO of IFING Media Limited. He holds a bachelor's degree in accounting, like I said, from Crescent University, Abeokuta, and a master's in Islamic banking and finance from Bayero University, Kano. He's an Islamic finance correspondent and media expert, an astute business man, and a passionate individual, having hand-on experience in Islamic finance, takaful, and agricultural businesses and commodity training. So it's Islamic media is based in Kano. So I have the pleasure to invite our brother, Mr. Mudathir, to make his presentation. So let me allow him to mute himself. Where is, can you just request to be muted? I cannot see you on the list here. Okay, let me allow you to mute yourself and then I will close the muting. So you can mute yourself now.
Then I said no.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Let me mute every other person. I've also allowed you to share your slide.
And independent.
I'm ready. So that I can.
I'm saying it to be carefree and what?
Sorry, Doctor, can you?
Can you just request to, okay, let me allow you to mute yourself now. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this wonderful opportunity. Assalamu alaikum to everyone in the room.
Wa alaikum salam.
And I greet all the fellow mentors in the room, and also for the journey so far. I also extend my greetings to the mentees. I believe you have been enjoying and also learning so far. From all the lectures being delivered. I want to thank Doctor once again for deeming me fit to give this wonderful lecture this morning. And I believe that we are not all affected by the issues around this political era in Nigeria. I hope everyone will be fine, and I hope we are going to actually come out this, inshallah, victorious, inshallah. So with
just a minute, sir. Let me
Okay.
quickly remind all the mentees to please enter their appearance. So please, you have to re-enter your appearance once again because there was a disconnection the other time so that you'll be properly captured. Let's everyone enter the attendance once again through the chat box. Thank you. So you can continue, please.
All right. With that, I think I would want to start my presentation by first and foremost saying that the area I'm going to be covering today is a very, very tricky area, whereby, I mean, not everyone sees opportunity in the media industry in terms of Islamic finance. My presentation will definitely be introducing media and media concepts, also the type of media industry we have, the media platforms, then Islamic finance and media, then how we're going to straight up to the roles of media and finance, the career opportunities, requirements needed, and also looking at the challenges, and I'm going to cap it off with a conclusion. That being said, I think I would like to use this to open by saying that the media industry is a key aspect of any sector, because media is a way whereby you express yourself, you express what you do, you express how people will actually communicate with you, in which every industry, every company, even individuals actually make use of. So that being said, I will try as much as possible to be practical a little, because it's very important we understand where this is coming from. Before I go to the definition, I think I need to first say this. Everyone understood, or let's say, would have been informed about what happened in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks when this issue of cash swap started in Nigeria. And something interesting happened in the banking industry, whereby the social media erupted in terms of Islamic banking, looking at the operators, how they were able to capture the phenomena by expressing the Sharia, tenants, in terms of not ordering the cash and also making sure that all their ATMs are actually functioning, and not even selling it. And it's very important to mention this before I start this presentation, because this is the power that media can actually give to you. And if you have any staff or any management at Jais Bank today, they will tell you that that incident alone showed significant increase in the opening of their accounts. And also, I think Taj Bank also, Lotus Bank, and Sterling Alternative. That being said, I would like to use that one to open, saying that media is very, very important in any industry. And media is a device, collection of industries, a lot of industries and practice, each with their own method of communication. Specific business interests, constraints, there are also constraints, and looking at different types of audience. That being said, there are a lot of concepts we are going to be looking at, but I just try as much as possible to take these 5 concepts, because they are the main concepts in media. We have the branding concept, we have the consumer concept, we have the content concept,
sorry,
we
sir,
have
Madam.
the delivery.
Madam, please, can you share your screen in full and to allow us to follow this?
Is it not shared in full?
Yes.
Is it not shared in full? Can't you see it?
So maybe you can use the slideshow.
Okay, I think that's what I'm using. Let me stop sharing and resharing it again. I think that's what I'm using. Okay, so
because the slide was just showing one the first page alone.
okay, I'm trying to share now. What about now? Is it okay now?
Okay, can you click to the next page so that we can be sure it's moving?
I think trying to reshare
Maybe
this.
you just go to the menu and click on
No,
slide.
it's fine, doctor. I will do that now. I'll do that now, doctor. It's fine. I'm just trying to. All right. What about now? Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay now.
Very okay now. Thank you.
All right, good. Sorry for that. I didn't actually know I was not sharing the whole screen.
Thank you.
All right. So, as I was saying, that looking at the importance and let's say looking at the concept, I actually stop at the concept. Talking about the concept of content, the delivery, and also the platform. Now, in this, what we need to understand is that branding for any company or industry, you need to brand your appearance, either using your logo, using press releases, using a lot of things we use in terms of branding, and these are tools of media. Also, we have the consumer. How do people actually perceive and actually consume your content? Basically, because if you are offering anything in the industry, you need to communicate to the people, and the people are the audience, and they are the consumers. Actually, in this case, you have to make sure that you, give the necessary information to be consumed by the consumer of your services. Also, the content. You need to create a wonderful content for the consumer to be able to understand. So let's say the content really is so important, and you can see it's the pillar of whatever you do in terms of media delivery. Because if you create a content that is not useful, it will not, number one, generate any traction. Number two, will not actually pass the message you want to pass, and in turn, it's not actually going to, benefit your business the way you want it to. Then the last one, which is the platform, you need to choose. We have different types of platform in the media space, and that is the only way you use in terms of to communicate what your company is all about, what the industry is all about. That being said, I would like quickly to go to some of I'll call this some because we have different types now. The industry media and the media industry, the types we have is they are actually enormous, but I try to streamline them to these 6 types. We have number one, the publishing aspect. This type of media industry is where we make use of most written content, talking about books, newsletters, newspapers, publication articles, and so on. Then number 2, we have the video and animation. This, we are all, aware of this, and for us to be able to, a practical example is some of the videos you see on social media. Number 3, we have the audio production. Audio production department is a very key department, or let's say type of industry, whereby if you neglect this industry, it's very difficult to be able to, implement some of this other media industry. For example, the social media. If the audio of your video is bad, definitely people will not like to actually watch your video. We can see some crappy video online, but still, because of the audio is good, people still stay. It has a lot of retention rate and everything. Number 4, we have what we call the streaming media. These are the normal streaming platforms we have to deliver content. For example, we have a lot of podcast streaming platform. For example, we have Apple streaming platform, we have Google, we have Spotify, and the one that is, popular between the youth is the Netflix. Also, we have the film and documentary, industry. In this place, I think it is not new to us. There are some notable film industry and also documentary companies that we know, whereby these are being used to convey the perception of how something works, or what is happening in one organization, or what is happening in one country or the other. This industry is what takes care of that. Then we are all actually familiar with social media. I will not delve inside this because social media is actually known to everyone. Then the second to the last one is the graphics. Graphics is somewhat they overlook it because a lot of people don't actually know the importance of graphics in anything you do. To make visuals appealing for reading, especially the digital aspect of it, it's very important you actually take this industry seriously. And I'm going to be discussing the reason why you take this industry seriously when I get there. Then we have the last one here, which is the event industry. We've been seeing a lot of events happening, seminars, webinars, and even this particular event we are having presently is also part of an event, and it's also a media platform we are using, which is Zoom, and we have other ones too. So with that, I believe these are the 6 industries I just tried to highlight, which later on I'll be trying most as possible to elaborate on how this media industry can play in the Islamic finance industry. Now, I would want to emphasize, or let's say, just to bring to our notice some of the media platforms that we have, which we have, as you can see listed. We have the radio stations, the radio platforms, where the audio is being used to disseminate information, do a lot of advertisements, do a lot of public publication to people. We have the TV, it's also a platform. The social media is a wonderful platform now that we use anywhere you are in the world. You can actually know what is happening in a place. We have streaming platform that I've mentioned before. We have the newspaper and the digital newspaper. This digital newspaper is actually coming up now. We can see some websites using flip books, flip newspapers, in terms of even the now so-called the local newspapers are turning their newspaper into digital newspaper. Then we have the magazine and the digital magazine. And not the last one is the newsletter and emails. And I know that a lot of us has been they've subscribed to a lot of newsletters, either on LinkedIn, either on a lot of websites to give information and to give kind of a breakdown of what is happening in that industry you actually subscribe for. And this newsletter is always, most of the time, they use email to disseminate this information. Now, I will not talk much about Islamic finance definition because we have definitely listened to our mentors talk about this. And, this is one area that I'm so passionate about, that people don't really know the power of this sector. And in time, I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. So I just say that by highlighting this, that Islamic finance is a type of financing activity that must comply with Sharia. Any financing activity you do must comply with Sharia. Now, I must add today that it's not only because activities in financing are so enormous. Either you talk about what is happening in terms of, delivery of, it's not only money when we talk about financing, but, a lot of scholars has actually, put this in the cap of whatever happens in the financial industry of money. So I would like to keep it that way, not to actually expand this discussion more than that. Now, this is a place that is so important, and I want us to all to pay attention here. Our mentees kindly pay attention. The role of media in Islamic finance industry. What role is is media set to play in the Islamic finance industry? It's very important. And I will tell you a story here. Before I actually, joined to become one of the media in the Islamic finance industry, there was research that we carried out here in Kano, and a lot of researchers also always say that awareness is the problem. Awareness is a problem. How is awareness a problem? So we went ahead, we conducted a kind of a survey here in Kano. We see that information are not being passed. People are not really aware about the industry. And as such, it is so, we see that a lot of people don't even know what Islamic finance is all about. And we kept digging. So what can we do to make sure that we, make this industry popular and give a lot of advantages that is actually embedded in this industry to the people to benefit. And this is going to take me to the awareness issue. For any industry to actually attain its highest position, people need to be aware of the industry. No matter whatever the industry is doing, if people are not really aware of what you are doing and the opportunities they can actually achieve by participating in the industry, definitely the industry will not grow as we expect. And also, for people to harness the opportunity in that industry, people need to be aware. It is when people are now aware, that's when they would now take action towards the industry. And that also brings me to what we call the marketing and the advertisement of that industry. For the industry to deploy the best marketing strategy, you need to understand the level of awareness of the people and the audience you appeal to. Without that, there will be a problem in your delivery. And for information to be passed well, you need people to be aware. So these four components is a very, very important role that media use in enhancing any industry, including Islamic finance in this regard. Islamic finance, as we remember, Islamic finance, it came to Nigeria, I think more than 10 years now, more than a decade. And we believe that because of the low awareness of people, the patronage was not as booming as people expect, though the industry really, has been performing well. In the last, 10 years, but at the bane, we have more awareness antidotes put into this industry. The industry will have gone more than actually what we are actually experiencing today. Now, having said this, before I go any questions in this regard. What is happening in Malaysia? Use these roles. So a lot of time in Malaysia will sensitization in terms of Islamic finance. We have a lot of conferences, webinars, seminars happening in Malaysia. We have a lot of people going around to make sure that people know about Islamic finance. And also the support they got from their own central bank, which is Bank Nagara, is very, very important. And this actually is the, awareness level of the industry. And I'll just mention some of the media industry. No, we don't really have much, and that's why we call this wonderful industry a nascent one. We have Red Money in Malaysia, which also house IFING, Islamic Finance News, and they've been doing well in terms of promoting Islamic finance, making sure that people know about everything happening in Islamic finance in the world. We also have some institutions also doing well in terms of this outreach and awareness issue. We have INSEF, we have IOM, and so on. Now, this is the area of, let's say, Malaysia. I'm actually talking about Malaysia. Now, when we come down to our own country, Nigeria, we don't have actually a single media firm that actually covers the industry, apart from some fragmented information that we see are out there. And for what is worth, we need to mention this. The Apex Bank have done a lot, which is the CBN. Security and Exchange Commission have also done a lot in terms of outreach. And we must, give kudos to the ASWAN, the Zakat and Wakaf Commission, the body. They've been doing so well in terms of the social financing, but still we need to do more. And that is why we feel that it's very important for us to create, or let's say mentor, some set of individuals that will take this industry, to the next level. Because without the right information, without the right knowledge, definitely the industry will not get to where it's supposed to be. And why I said that is, if whoever is going to disseminate the information is not knowledgeable in Islamic finance, and there will be a problem in the information people will actually be consuming. That being said, I would like to quickly go to the little career opportunities. And I know our mentees now, they might be taking their biro and start jotting that, yeah, maybe these are the places I feel that I can fit in. But before I go in this, I must say, you have to definitely have resilience to enter into this industry. It's very, very important. A lot of people will discourage you. A lot of people will tell you things, except that you enter the industry and actually navigate it well. Now, the reason why I mentioned public relations specialists first, I'll tell you why. For any industry, they must have a public relation officer. And as we all know that Islamic finance, presently we have 3 full-fledged Islamic finance banks. We have 2 windows. We have 4 Takafu companies, 1 window. We have a lot of Zakah and Wakaf foundations in Nigeria. We have cooperative societies, and we also have microfinance bank in the Islamic finance industry. So putting all these things together, and this is not to say that Islamic finance industry is not growing, it's growing enormously. And this actually sounds a note of warning and concern that if we don't grow the specialists that will really communicate what's important these industry players are actually doing to make sure that they advance the Islamic finance industry, we will have a fundamental problem. And I believe that that brings me to the second one, which is Islamic finance correspondent, which I am. And to become an Islamic finance correspondent, you need to have deep knowledge of Islamic finance. You need to continue to learn. You need to continue to search for knowledge. And I'm so happy that prior to this presentation, my own presentation, the presentation last week spoke about how you can do research, how you can obtain granular information that are needed for you to actually develop yourself, to actually fit into this wonderful industry. We all know journalists, we all know what they do. Without journalists, I believe the world will, people might say the world will be a better place, but I will say that without good journalists, the world will be on fire. Because journalists are very, very important. It is what they report that plays in people's mind. And if journalists are reporting things that are not good, the industry can actually collapse. I'll give an example. If you look at what happened in 2008, the economic meltdown, the media industry really played a very, very large role in the financial industry, whereby they are the one that reports what happened in the Wall Street. They are the one that reports the misdeed. They are also the one that cover up the misdeed that happened in the industry. So with this, I think you will agree with me that to be a journalist in this industry is very important and key to actually, to actually boost the Islamic finance industry. Let me move quickly because of time.
Sorry,
the next one.
Somebody is raising up, and I don't know if it's a mistake. Maybe they want to ask for some clarification. Aisha Ahmed is out.
Okay, please go ahead if you want to ask a question. I think maybe it's a mistake. Doctor, maybe it's a mistake, right?
Well, I think so. But
okay, please kindly put your questions together. I know you have, that's why I want to quickly round up so that you have ample time to actually ask your questions.
We are going to allow questions after the presentation, please.
Exactly. So and that would be great.
Center to continue, please.
All right, great. So as I was saying, let me quickly move to the video and the photography aspect of it. For any events any happenings in the industry, there must be a photographic representation, which is like an pictorial information or a video presentation of what has happened. And you see that this is a major source of information for all of us now. If you go to social media, you see reporting everywhere. We have self-reporting, we have industry reporting, we have a lot of reportage. And I can say that we need experts in this field, because it is what you take. Is this the picture or the video you actually took of something happening? That is when we'll be able to say, yes, this is what happened, and you can see, we can make reference to them. And I must say in this regard that videography and photography presently is really, really making way, because all industry needs this, all, including Islamic finance. Audio and video editors, these are also very, very good career you can actually pursue in the Islamic finance industry, because let me just say this. Islamic finance, if you have the knowledge of Islamic finance and you are a media expert, it gives you the added advantage to whatever you have. You'll be able to glide the industry. You'll be able to understand what this industry is talking about. You'll be able to know how to navigate yourself in the industry. And that is very, very important. I'll just mention all this. Digital marketers, I think we are very, very familiar with this. Graphic designer. Now, I said I'm going to talk about graphics. Graphics is very important because any event, any information you want to do on any platform, graphics is needed. On any platform, I repeat, graphics is needed. Talking about the social media platform, all social media platforms. I believe that even what Doctor used in projecting this wonderful mentorship program is a graphics. And I don't know, Doctor, please, I want to ask a question. Did you pay the graphics designer for this? Did you? For the logo we made?
Well, we have our very good volunteers among the mentees who volunteer to to handle the graphic and the IT for us.
Great, great.
So
I think
I introduced them in the first session. So we have volunteers, and they are doing wonderfully well for us.
Great, I think wonderful. And I must say today is that if you take your skill a little bit up notch, you see graphic designers actually earn more money now. I mean, these days. And for anything, any company in Islamic finance will do, they need graphics to actually do them in terms of representation. Looking at social media, go and check all their social media handles. You see them bringing a lot of image and everything. A graphic designer is actually involved in this. Social media manager. Definitely, this is no news. Everyone needs a social media account. Every company needs a social media account. And they are not experts in this field. So definitely, if you acquire skills to be a social media manager, to manage all social media, create content and whatnot, definitely you will you'll be happy that you actually have that skills with the right connection, really. So content strategist, director and producer, and the last one I'm going to mention is media entrepreneur. This is very, very important, and we need this in the Islamic finance industry, basically because we need companies that will deal with these issues, the media aspect of it, because it is how we take the media, people will actually see this industry. The media is the one that actually represents whatever is happening in the industry. Either, a bank is doing something great or not. Either an insurance company, a travel company is doing what is great or not. So we need entrepreneurs to build platforms to be able to cater to all these things, whereby we'll have alternatives to Facebook. It's doable. We have alternative to LinkedIn. Is doable because for people to do better to our industry, so we need Islamic finance experts, that are media experts, to create platforms for people to get the best information, the best knowledge in this industry. And in turn, the platform being created will definitely generate income for the company. I will try to mention like two platforms that we know presently that we use for that. I think we have IFING. That's also, I think, an INSEF project from Malaysia. We also have IFN News, and also we have our own platform which we call IFING Cast, where people get the right information in terms of Islamic finance. Now, that being said, these are the requirements you need to actually function well in this industry. Without these requirements, I think there's room for knowledge, there's room for learning, there's room for gathering more information, because every day we see new things. And in Islam, we believe that in Islamic finance, or let's say Islamic economics, really, it's knowledge. We actually see knowledge, whereby Whatever is not Islamic, you remove it. Whatever is useful for Islam, that is not against the tenets of Islam, Sharia, then we actually retain them. The first one on the list here is Islamic finance knowledge. And I have been saying this, that this is very, very important. Without Islamic finance knowledge, you can't actually play well in this industry. You need to understand the Sharia aspects, the fatwas given at any point in time. Make yourself accustomed to the standards released by IFSB, by CBAFI, by IOFI, all these bodies, and make sure that you don't just read them, you don't just, cram them, you understand them. And that's why whenever people say an Islamic finance correspondent, I laugh, because without knowledge, you cannot actually be an Islamic finance correspondent. Without knowing exactly what is happening, and without the information in the industry, you cannot actually be there. So the knowledge of Islamic finance is very important, and I believe you are receiving one by being in this mentorship program. The second one is degree in mass communication or any related field. Actually, this is optional. And I'm not being biased here because I didn't read mass comm, but we feel that there's studies that have shown that mass communication has actually, their job have been taken by a lot of people, not the mass communication, people that goes to school to actually study mass communication, that actually works in the radio station, that actually works in the newspaper industry, that actually works in the TV. Like I'm an accountant and an Islamic finance analyst, and I developed interest in Islamic media, and I have acquired a lot of knowledge. But here, I talk about mostly skills. Skills is very, very important. So if you have media communication degree, an added advantage for you, it is something that you can actually use in actually, advancing your career in this field, but it is really, really optional. Now, the third one is creative and self-motivated individual. You have to be creative. You have to be motivated, because this industry, I must say, there are a lot of intimidation. You face a lot of intimidation. You face a lot of people that will bring you down to say, because if you are not self-reliant, two things will happen. They can buy you as a media professional in this industry to say whatever they want you to say. So it's very, very important you understand, you have to know how to navigate, you have to be creative. If a way is blocked, you have to know how to navigate yourself to bring yourself out of that situation and get the goal out there. You have to be self-motivated. Don't let people motivate you. People don't motivate, really. If you listen to whatever everybody say, all these motivational speakers, they will say whatever it is, go and check them. They don't even do half of what they are telling you to do. So you have to be self-motivated. You have to have a conviction in you that, look, this industry, what are the opportunities I need to explore? If I'm having this, what are the ways I can actually put this thing out? And with this, if you are self-motivated, you will not follow the steps of people succeeding in the industry, the right people succeeding in the industry. That is why I think we are having this program also, because you see a lot of mentors. We have the head of ASWAN here, the chairman. We have the head of Dr. Also from IFSB, and a lot of them. They are all mentors to see how we're able to glide through the industry in different areas. So you need to also look into this. Should have the ability to think outside the box. I think this is self-explanatory. You need not to be stuck in one state, like you want to deliver anything and you feel that the norm of doing it is the best way of doing it. I think this is the reason why we go out of the way to say we need to have a company in the Islamic finance industry that only deals with media, because we feel that media connects to all the industry, and only tool we can use to advance is by using media tools to advance the industry. So you need to definitely think outside the box. It's not only the norm as how people are going, if people are going to the right, you continue to go to that right. The only thing you think about this is, so far it is in the purview of Islamic tenets, Sharia. That is what will guide you. The next thing is solid understanding of social media networks. I think this is so important and privileged to our talk. Quick learners, you need to know how to grab. You need to grab easily. Whenever you go anywhere, let me give an example. You might be in any environment, and there might be a wonderful information needed for people to know about. If you are not sharp and you're not a quick learner, you might lose the necessary information being dished out. So you need to really be a quick learner. And to learn that, it is also something you need to, is a skill you must actually acquire. Understanding communication skills, definitely this is very important. In some places we speak English, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Fufude in Nigeria. We have a lot of languages. So you need to try as much as possible to understand different languages. And I can say personally, I understand Yoruba, I understand Hausa, I understand a little bit of Fufude, I understand English, I understand Arabic, and I read a little bit about French, but not really too much. But you need to be a multilingual person to really capture a lot of things. Excellent time management skills. I think this cannot be overemphasized. A lot of our studies, you need to know how to manage our time. Time is very important. Exceptional multitasking ability. You need to know how to multitask. Your brain you must build your brain to be wide. Because if, for example, you're an accountant and you're an Islamic finance accountant, let me put it that way. All what you learn, it's all what that have to do with accounting. But if you're in the media aspect, you need to learn accounting, you need to learn economics, you need to learn all aspects that involve Islamic finance. You need to know about Islamic takafu, you need to know about takafu, you need to know about social financing, wakaf, zakah, sadaqah, lillah, and others, correct. You need to know about all aspects of Islamic finance. And that is why you need to have a multitasking ability. You need to know how to do things, different things at the same time. Though there are ways of doing that. If God permits us, having another session, I would like as much as possible to teach about this multitasking ability. Now, I think this is I'm very close to the last slide, so bear with me. Now I'm at the requirements. Okay, challenges in the industry. What challenges will you face? It's very important we understand this. Every industry has their own challenges. But this industry, as new as it is, the challenges are enormous. And I just have to list a little. And the one I can say here, when you are in the industry, you understand more of what I'm saying. Yes, to get a job in this industry is a little bit difficult. And it's minimal because jobs are minimal. And I'll tell you why. Because integration of knowledge is what people are doing. They will just come from other fields. I'm an expert in communication. I don't know about Islamic finance. Then they will go and, they will get knowledge in terms of Islamic finance. They'll start taking courses and everything. And if you see, that has slowed down the communication ability of our companies. I may say this, that if you go to our companies that we have, you can testify. If you go to their communications department, definitely you will see people of different fields. You will see people of different backgrounds that doesn't even know anything about Islamic finance, and they are there. So it is very difficult for them to represent the industry the way it's supposed to be represented. And I believe that with this, we need to learn on how we are going to actually dominate this industry, because it is for us who know about Islamic finance tenets, who knows about what Islamic finance is all about, who knows about where we want Islamic finance to be, that will be able to represent the industry the way it's supposed to be represented. And that is very, very important. The second thing is no access to client base. The people in the industry presently, they don't really think it's important that they need somebody that understands Islamic finance to hold, or let's say, to control that their department, which is communications department, or public or publicity department, as the case may be. They've not seen that. They've not seen the reason. That is why you see that whenever they want to communicate something, I will give an example. There's a company called the Economics. The way they portray capitalism, the way they portray socialism, if we learn and know how they portray all those things, and we do half of that in Islamic finance, the way we portray Islamic finance will be better understood by our people. Media is a very, very wonderful tool, and we need to understand that. Let me move to the second one, which is copyright. You face a lot of copyright issues because there are a lot of people that are clamping on the industry because they are the first movers. So they have the right, they have actually positioned themselves to dominate the information. So sometimes when you have when you have information, apart from if you know how to actually rephrase, paraphrase, and how to actually present information, you definitely stumble on the issue of copyright. Also, media industry competition. You will face competition from people that are not in the Islamic finance industry, and they are in the media industry, and they want to enter into the industry because they see opportunities in the industry. So definitely you need to be aware of this, and that is why you need to equip yourself to be ahead of the competition. The next one is personalization and algorithms. And I will say this, I will use the example I used in the first instance. Algorithm is very, very important in the media industry. It is where people go to, the algorithm follow. So sometimes it doesn't favor you. You bring out a story, a wonderful story, and you didn't even see other people to read it. Or you didn't even get traction. Apart from you doing everything possible, that is what social media has actually brought to us. And that's why you need to learn the algorithm of how things work in the media industry so that you know your footing in this industry. Now, the seventh one is diversify choices of audience. We have different type of audience. I can know that now I'm going to use this gathering as an example. I know there are some people that are sleeping on their bed to listen to my presentation today. There are some people in their offices. There are some people doing another thing and listening to this. So we have different type of audience, but you need to be able to understand what content works for different type of audience to be able to excel in this industry. It's a challenge that you need to be able to solve. Changes in job demand caused by artificial intelligence. Yes, I think this is also a challenge, but there are ways to mitigate this challenge, but I'll give an example of that. We have AI voices now. If I want to voice anything, normally you go to the studio, we have human voice, you voice it, you take, you get paid per word. But now I have a lot of AI tools that if I just type, they will bring out the voice in minutes and I'm done. So all the tussle of editing and everything is actually removed, but there are ways of actually navigating this in terms of making sure artificial intelligence did not actually come here to actually take our jobs. Artificial intelligence is here to improve our jobs if you know how to use them very well. With this, I think I'll be going to the last, slide that says that I just have a kind of a quote here to use this to wrap up. And I say To be a successful Islamic finance media specialist, you must be ready to grow with the industry and be creative in your delivery. I think these are just two things that are very, very important. The industry is still nascent. The industry is still growing. We have a lot of companies that will be opening and will need these services, no matter whatever it is they will need. So you need to position yourself to when this thing will be needed, to when you have already, put yourself in a position whereby you are an authority in this industry, and that will give you the best of the best opportunity to swap or to get all these jobs so desired from the companies coming up. With this, I say thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and I really appreciate your attendance, and I will give the floor for question and answer over to you, Doctor.
Jazakumullah khairan, Jaza. I must say that we are being very motivated and mentored and inspired. All that we expected. Beyond that, we have been able to get it. In fact, this is going to generate some kind of dialogue. And let me quickly say that we want to thank you most sincerely and pray Allah will continue to be with you and strengthen you and your industry. Jazakumullah khairan. And one of the quick response I want to make is that inshallah, we try to organize another session for you to share with us that aspect of multitasking abilities, so that we'll have a complete session from you. Actually, we had the plan that if we could have more than one session with some of the mentors, but as it turned out, we seem to have so many mentors available, so much that we even try to just get each with one session. And I think it has been very fruitful to us. Jazakumullah khairan. Before I open floor, first and foremost for some of our mentors, other mentors who are here, let me quickly engage you that this industry, like you have said, especially in the aspect of media, Islamic finance media entrepreneurship, how do you think that investment opportunity can be opened into this area? In terms of, we have our various Islamic finance institutions, which in one way or the other, one will feel at times that they are getting overwhelmed in terms of just focusing in one areas of investment. For example, somebody was asking, I think in one of the sessions or one platform, that is it possible to invest in virtual assets? And I believe media will also be one of that area that can be a kind of intangible sector for investment. So how do you think our Islamic institution can actually see this area as a investment opening for them? And this will also go to the area of zakat. You know, zakat now are also being invested in one way or the other. I'm happy that the president of Azawan is with us here. And I believe this is one of the areas that we also agitate our mind. And I'm going to invite him very soon to make some kind of comment. So how do we want to go into this? And likewise, a lot of people want to do workful, and they are looking at something that can be very, really impactful. Recently, we are talking of what we call even workful of service. That it's not necessary that what you do as workful must be tangible. So there should be a way of even doing workful of intangible things, which can benefit people. So I think these are some of the things that you have actually raised. And it is really very agitating my mind, which I believe also goes the same way. So before I call on our mentors, so can you quickly just inspire us more in this aspect so that we begin to see? And also that area of the economy, because one of the things I believe is that those of us that are in this sector, we should not expect that anybody is going to promote it for us. And this is one of the objectives behind this mentorship. So if you are looking at the future of Islamic finance, it must be encompassing, and all of us must do whatever that is within our ability and reach. We should not believe that maybe we have one institution already doing something and that is enough. We must always do more and more. So can you just engage us more on this aspect of investment and financing prospect in the area of Islamic finance and media? And thereafter, I'll call on some of our mentors here.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. I really appreciate that question. Though I don't want to bore people with, investment talk, because we are not here to converse, but definitely to open our minds to, understanding the opportunities. And thank you so much for bringing that out. Definitely, investment in this field will be an enormous one for Islamic finance, because it is with this kind of investments, it is with this kind of backing that will make the industry to grow, that will make people to be able to participate in the industry. Because platforms are to be built, not for, I would like to take the word of one of my mentors also, Malam Lamido, that always says that we have two things, fi sabilillah and free sabilillah, right? And in the Islamic world, we see media as free sabilillah. You need to, help us to be able to cover our events, make all these things available for us. That is why you see the way the other media, or let's say the other financing or sectors develop is rapid from the way Islamic sector developed. And I think you mentioning Waqf is very, very important. Waqf investment can actually play a wonderful role in this regard, because awareness for people to understand and know the message is ibadah. You are trying your best to give people the right information to be able to take the right decision, reminding them of Islamic finance or Islamic tenets every time you do this. So it's ibadah. So I believe if that can be, there's a way we can structure a Waqf instrument to be able to fit into this industry, because we know the media industry is an industry that you cannot expect return immediately. It's very, very important we understand that. You need to invest. You need to invest both money and intelligence and time. If you don't do that, you might not be able to achieve what you want to achieve. If you remember the story of Daily Trust today, how did Daily Trust started their media house? And now we go to Abuja, you see their tower. How did they do it? So we need to understand that there are a lot of opportunities in terms of advertisement, in terms of publication, in terms of press releases, in terms of technology. Because looking at what Red Money has been able to do in Malaysia, and that is why I mentioned platform and information. Information is money, data is money. There's no how you want to take it. So investments are possible in this regard. But for institutions like our non-interest banks to be able to, fund or let's say give financing to these institutions, it's proved a little bit difficult because their return, the return they will be expecting is not, the tenor of return for a media company is not the same thing as other industry. So we need to really understand this. And for us, if you have a platform that develops the media to an extent whereby it's now making money, that is when the media can now say, or the media company can now say that, yes, we can go for financing in these institutions by financing using Murabaha, Mudaraba, Ijara, Istisna, Salam, and other things to either buy equipment, to either, have more, to build fintech company, media fintech companies. Because presently we have, we started working on some projects called the Hub. We started working on an hub to bring together media, not just the media firms, but constituting the radio station, TV station, and how do you get the most important information in this industry? Because all this industry also need a platform to put their information. And for to be able to rely on your platform must be able to generate more traction. These are the reasons and ways or places we need to actually understand that Wakaf will be a great tool to help our industry. And I believe that when Wakaf is being used to develop this wonderful industry, maybe to start the media firms and everything, then that is when the media firm can now say, we need to expand. We need to do this. We need to do that. But I believe I will not be able to talk. I will not talk about Wakaf too much because my able president is here. And I know that he would want to give a lot because he just came back. I know he just came back from Jeddah, and he will be giving one kind, a lot of insights into this. But I believe there should be a tool for us to develop media industry using Wakaf.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Mudathir. I think what I can take from this, which can also, even for research further, is to expose our eyes that there are some industry in Islamic finance that we need to be complemented by other industry, especially using Wakaf and Zakat. And in a way, you are telling the other one that perhaps your industry will also be qualified as Al-Amilina Alayha to benefit from the Zakat, and as well as even the Wakful proceed. So, and also it can also be an advocate that even for our Islamic finance institutions, when they want to do their CRS, CSR, corporate social responsibility, so they can think of even doing their CSR in supporting the Islamic media sector. I think this is also a very good area. Jazakumullahu khairan. So before I allow the mentees, let me call on our Madam Medoki to quickly give us his comment. Okay, where is him so that I can allow him to mute? Can you please open your video so that I can see you and allow you to unmute yourself? I hope he's still with us. The network has not disconnected him. Okay, let me ask him to unmute.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I want to begin by thanking the convener all the way from Turkey.
Alhamdulillah.
And our speaker today, Brother Mudathir, for this very wonderful insight. And I hope, inshallah, one day he will be with us in Sokoto to give us a replica of this presentation so that we can take the younger ones.
Inshallah.
Those who are media buyers in Sozecom and also other media houses to see what also the Islamic finance have for the media as a whole and also the Muslim Ummah. The Quran has told us that أَفَمَنْ يَمْشِي مُكِبًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ أَهْدَىٰ أَمَّنْ يَمْشِي سَوِيًّا عَلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And in another verse, he said, هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ لَا يَسْتَوُونَ is the answer. And what Brother Mudathir did today is to further showcase that the more you know and the more you get down to the people in the subject of Islamic finance, zakat and waqf inclusive, the more people see the reason why that Allah is infinite mercy, has created the world, the people, created the economy and provided the best way to live, the best way to use those resources without cheating anybody, and for everybody to have a reciprocating reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a peaceful living in this world and for the best life in the hereafter. So I call on all of you in this industry and those who are the da'iyas to continue to have in mind that what we are trying to do is the best option for mankind. No matter the hurdles, no matter the struggle, whether in our lifetime or after, the result will be there. And people will appreciate this very important sacrifice and also endeavor made by all of us as individual and collective. So my little take is during the presentation towards midway, I'm still in Mecca. I have to go for the prayers. And after the prayers, I came back and I met him, rounding up. But the introduction, that's at the beginning, I was able to get, most of the, the layout of what he actually wanted to present. And alhamdulillah, he has been able to do so and convinced us. And even the, the additional explanation that you are able to make, it has also helped and widened the scope of his presentation. And I think that is what we really need to work on. We should not be in haste, but at the same time, we should all put our energy together and do the best we can do for the Ummah. And I can see, inshallah, we will make progress as we are moving. And then through this platform and other platforms, we need to increase the horizon. The topic of his discussion is what we need to further work on so that we get more people to come to understand. Because the members in our encounter are not aware. So this is what we need to do. For example, wherever I have the opportunity to speak to those in authorities when it comes to Islamic finance, and when we are talking about zakat or when we are talking about waqf, they seem not to understand. But sometimes I take a step forward to tell them after they have so much on the Islamic Bank. Today, the Islamic Bank, as Mudathir said at the beginning, have demonstrated what Allah has given us is the best. And then I try always to bring the example of the sukuk. The sukuk from Kano to Medu, that 20 years has not been complete. Now sukuk is completing the road. Even roads in the south, even roads in Abuja are being completed by sukuk. This is a clear example of what Islamic finance can do to even Muslim and non-Muslim. So at the social media portray the issue of the Islamic banks in this issue of change in Nigeria or the new notes, I think the same thing should apply to all the goodness achieved in the Islamic finance. Look at the earthquake currently in Turkey, but you can see one of the most outstanding contribution to the people of Turkey, I think, is the contribution of the Qatar people. And the Qatar people, whether the Qatar Charity or the Qatar Foundation, are all part of Islamic finance. Therefore, I feel, inshallah, what you are doing, you continue. We thank Brother Mudathir for this presentation, and we thank all those who were able to spare their time to follow. I've seen that of today is like, it's more than in terms of attendance, the previous presentation, if I'm not mistaken. And Alhamdulillah, he has shown that even through this now, many of us are from different parts of the world, but here we are discussing, chatting, about way forward on the Islamic finance, and that Allah is with us at all times. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I remain with you, and we remain blessed, and Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Madam Nidoki, and it's always very inspiring to hear from you. Quickly, because it's time for Salatul Zuhri here, so I will just allow one or two questions. If you have questions, you can raise up your hand so that I will allow Mr. Mudathir to respond at once, and thereafter we present certificates to him. So 005, you can unmute yourself and make your contribution. Quickly, please. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We commend the effort of our guests. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them and the organizers of the program as well. Mine is a kind of digression. I don't know, I just feel this is the best opportunity for me to make this contribution. From what we have learned in school, I think I want to borrow a leaf from the structure of the kind of program that is being conducted. You see, there is this basic knowledge that one must have in any discipline, so that will serve as a very good foundation for that discipline. Going back by what our lecturer has said, he made mention of the fact that we all have to be grounded, well grounded in the field of Islamic finance. And I think being grounded actually has its basis in knowing what it entails, which we cannot get except from the Sharia and the other fundamentals of the deen that this encompasses. So I don't know if it will not be out of place to ask from the organizers if this particular course or field can be a compulsory one for everyone in the program, so that at least we know what we want to do, how it is structured in the deen, how much we need to understand it before we now dwell on the aspects or whichever aspects that we intend to to diversify our energies to. So I don't know if this will not be too much, sir.
Well, from if I can get what you are saying right, those who have been shortlisted and are participating in this fellowship are supposed to fulfill their own aspect of the terms of this fellowship, which is for them to be participating actively and attending sessions. Each session has what is meant to expose them to, and if they already have the opportunities, because we did a lot of screening and they are not forthcoming, I think we cannot be calling and forcing people to attend. And like we have said, we really need people that at the end of this fellowship, we will be proud of. And that is why, after tomorrow's session, we'll be going on break for the election. Before we return, we are going to do further screening so that we will exclude those that are not serious. And we want to know that these are the people. Because like we said, we have different forums that we want to create. We are also going to have the Islamic Finance Forum so that you have specialists, mentors like this to further engage you on your own specific fora. So if people are not participating, I think there is not much we can do. And I understand that maybe you are saying because they make payments or whatever. From experience, we have organized a lot of program training that people pay, but even despite that payment, you will just see that some people are just interested in a certificate. And that is why this one is not, we are also looking at something we can do, because if you are in the area of wakfu, whatever, you always know that everything is not about money. You also have to do something that will be free of payment, and you too can look forward to reward from Allah. So this is the motivation behind this fellowship. And all our mentors, they have also made that sacrifice, because everybody knows that this is a very important program. But it's just unfortunate that despite that, so many people still don't appreciate it. But we have done our own part, and we believe even if it's just 1 or 2 people that are able to be motivated and properly mentored through this fellowship, so we will feel fulfilled that we have done our own part. So thank you so much. Jazakumullah khairan. So before I open floor for Brother Mudathir, let me allow this contribution from Mr. Brazak Abdulhakim. Please make it quick. We have very little time left.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's just a question.
Mr. Ablatif should be getting ready to certificate presentation as soon as I call on you, please. Yes, go ahead.
All right, so my question is, among the platform that was being mentioned by the presenter, which one would be the best one to do for a starter or someone that would just want to start Islamic finance media practice?
Okay, I hope that is clear. So you can please respond and why we'll be rounding up after that.
All right, thank you so much. And I really appreciate all the mentees for, listening and staying to the end. One thing I would like to say, let me first and foremost respond to the first person that commented on the issue of grounded knowledge. I must say that we all, if you're a Muslim and you're actually following your deen, you have added advantage. You have an edge over others. That's the first thing you should know, because all the knowledge of Islamic finance comes from Sharia, comes from the Quran and the Sunnah. And if you can be able to trace that, definitely you have, a wonderful success in the industry. That's been said. Number two, there are a lot of programs. I believe we just need to continue to push the government, or let's say if you have private schools, right? If you have private schools whereby you can invite the mentors, the industry players to come and give your students just once in a while talk, it's going to really impact their knowledge. There's a program, there's a project written by Professor Muhammad Mansour from Kinfad, and I think we are still having interaction with him, and definitely, inshallah, we want to conclude. The project is all about how to bring Islamic economics to the grassroots, from the infant stage to university. And they have written, they started this project for I think 7 years, and they gave me the license that was last month to see how we can put this thing in an app, or how we can input it in the curriculum of the government of the day, or how we can, because it needs to be there so that they can start knowing about Islamic finance, how to manage your money, the tenets of Islamic economics, where does it even come from, the history and everything. So I believe definitely if you continue to push with this kind of fora, we will definitely get there. But it's a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a step, and alhamdulillah, we are here. So for the second one, you said platform. If I get this right, is it platform to learn Islamic finance or platform
No, he's
to
talking
get
about the
information about
platform
Islamic finance?
to start Islamic media practice. That you listed different platform and all that. So which one is mainly?
Okay, I think the brother just, I just thought of something now, because we have a program at IFING Media anyway, where we mentor people who want to be media professional in this field. We have done it for, some people here in Kano, whereby they now work for radio stations, and they are now understand the reason why they should learn about Islamic finance. They are now using that. If you look at, we have some in Freedom Radio, we have in Arewa and other radio stations that we begin with. So we are also opening this. IFING Media is actually a platform that we give anybody who wants to learn about Islamic finance in this industry, Islamic finance media, how to represent the industry well, how to be able to analyze the industry, not giving you in-depth, but guiding you through what you should do. So we'll talk about, we also have interns as we talk now. We have people that we mentor as I'm talking. So it's if you really have interest, can actually, get to us, talk to doctor, go online, search us, and we will definitely be happy to actually bring you in. But for whoever is a little bit advanced, you know how to write, you know the tenets of Islamic finance, you've learned about all these things. There's a platform that is open to submit your writings, your blogs, your articles for Islamic finance. We have IFN, but it's not easy to really get into all those platforms. But alhamdulillah, with the help of our wonderful mentor, Dr. Akinlanso, Isiaq, we are building a platform for that, inshallah, which we are going to launch before the end of the year. And I am saying this because I have my president here, so that, and everyone, we also have Dr. Abidin from IFSP, so that they will know that this is going to also be a platform whereby we will mentor the mentees to be able to bring out, to analyze the industry in terms of data analysis, to also bring out what is happening recently in the industry, so that people can, that place can be a kind of a depository for any Islamic finance information you are looking for. You understand? So I think if that answers your question, my lines are always open, inshallah.
Oh, thank you very much, Jazakumullah Khaira. So let me quickly bid on that for the mentees on this program, I think they will begin to appreciate the arrangement and structure we have put in place, such as having to share them into different forums. So for instance, those who are active, because what we are looking at is that we don't want masters of all trade, jack of all trade, masters of none. So we want, if we have those among them, they're actually interested in going into the media. So when they join that forum, all these things you are talking about, you'll be able to engage them furthermore and specifically, and they will be properly groomed. And also, we have also designed that during this fellowship, they are going to undertake an internship for 1 month in the month of August. So they too, I think they will begin to see that we have mentors who are going to assist us in this regard. So those who are interested, who may want to do online or even face-to-face, if they are in Kano, I think they can see that they have opportunity. And those who are in even outside the Kano, those who are in Sokoto, so they know the Sosecom is there for them. So when we get there, we are going to let them know the opportunities are available for them. So before we conclude, I would like to also call on Dr. Abidin. to make just one or two comments before we conclude this session. Thank you, Doctor. Kindly unmute yourself. Okay, let me ask you to unmute yourself again. Okay. I think you can unmute yourself. Oh, what's up?
Hello?
Okay, walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Okay, yeah, sorry please, because I switched to my phone. I'm joining from the car. I'm actually driving. Well, I could not agree more with Brother Mudathir and our dear Malam that joined from Saudi. It's been a very pleasant session. I think there is more to take from this moving forward, not only for the mentees, but even for the mentors and, I mean, the industry as a whole. The whole idea of what we're doing would only reach that level which we want to get to, where there is proper awareness. It's a world where you have to do your own trumpet. And in this particular instance, what we're blowing or what we're trying to do is not even for the sake of propaganda, is because it has inherent, solution to, redefining the essence of our being as creatures of Allah in this world. So I think moving forward, we have to look at the possibility of actualizing some of the wonderful suggestions that Mudathir had mentioned, and so that where the mentees have the skills and the mentors also, based on these interactions, we also polish our own skills here and there. We have a collective of a human resource that would be able to advance the cause of Islamic finance and the land for all of us. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir. So, Brother Ablatif, kindly share the certificate for presentation to our mentor. Okay, thank you. On behalf of the MUNFIQ Academic Nigeria, so this certificate of appreciation is presented to Mr. Mudathir Adesanya for his immense contributions and support as a mentor facilitator in the 2023 fellowship of the MUNFIQ Islamic Finance Mentorship Scheme, and especially for mentoring the participants on the module Islamic Finance Media Practice as an Islamic Finance Career. So dated this Saturday, 18th February 2023, 26 Rajab 1414. Thank you so much. On behalf of all the management and the mentees and mentors. So this is just a little way of showing our appreciation to you. Jazakumullah khairan.
I mean, this is more than an appreciation. I'm so happy to receive this, and I believe that this will energize every one of us to continue to do more. Not really expecting the worldly things, but we should put in mind that the hereafter is very, very important. This is really appreciable. Thank you so much, Jazakumullah khairan, to everyone. And I wish all our mentees a successful knowledge, acquiring sessions. Thank you.
So let me, on this note, call on all the participants to kindly open their video for a snap of the participant, so that I can do some snap shot there. So please open your video, and I'm going to capture some of us here. So please just remain. I'm doing some capturing. So I've muted everybody so that your voice will not appear in the picture. So I'm capturing and saving. So you have to give me some a little time. So please open your video if you have not done that. So I will let you know when I'm done, please. Please, I'm still doing the capturing. Please wait, I'm still doing the capturing.
A moving vehicle. Even a moving vehicle can be.
Doctor. Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, let me do one more so that
Okay.
I'll be sure I'm able to capture everybody.
But capture me from Nigeria, not from Saudi. One of my brothers said that man from Saudi. I'm not from Saudi, I'm from Nigeria. I will leave very soon in the next few days.
Inshallah.
Back to Nigeria, inshallah.
Inshallah.
May Allah accept your ibadah, sir.
I'm in some
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan. So on this note, we like to call that we recite Surah Al-Asr to conclude this session. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal-Asr, inna al-insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu s-salihat, wa tawasaw bil-haqqi, wa tawasaw bis-sabr. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So see you tomorrow. Inshallah, tomorrow morning by 10 o'clock, there is one similar program which we encourage that we attend on Sukuk. It's not from this platform, but it's also very helpful to us. Then at 2 o'clock p.m., we are going to have one of the other important aspects of this session, which is on fintech. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam. You share the link for us.
Inshallah, I will do.
And we also hope the Mudathir paper will be shared on the platform.
Inshallah, that will be done. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.